Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Monday, August 3rd, 2020. We're in the first day of the new trading week in the last hour of the current trading day. Last hour is my favorite time. I like to wait during the day, make the majority of my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day or right near the close for my swing positions. During the day, you have the algorithms, you have the day traders. They are controlling the price. At the end of the day, the large financial institutions start coming in. They start taking the control away from the day traders and the algorithms, and they are in firm control of the price, and they're dealing with the most money, very smart people, best technology, best information, and I like to piggyback on what they're doing at the end of the day. I consider them smart money. So thank you all for coming today. I always appreciate you making the time to check in with us here during the last hour of the market. Very grateful that we have such a great group. Excuse me. So Dan is here. Hi, Dan. Hi, Greg and group. How you doing, Dan? Evan is here. Good afternoon. Hello, Evan. Good to see you, sir. Bob is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Bob. Quad is here. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. Miko25. Hello, sir. How you doing? Miss talking to you during our lessons. I hope you're doing well. Dan says, recent live stream with Christopher was very good. Oh, thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll share a link with that a little later. We were talking about position sizing based on volatility. That's with Christopher Uhl over at 10 Minute Stock Trader on YouTube. So I will share a link in case any of you are interested in watching that interview. And David is here. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Good talking to you on Friday. That was our last lesson. Always kind of sad when I have my last lessons with my students, but like we discussed, when you're up and about and taken care of with your shoulder, then we will do our follow-up call. All right, well, interesting day, another green day across the board. Dow Jones is up 262 points, it's up 0.99%, almost a percent. NASDAQ is up 166 points, up 1.5%, and the S&P is up 29.57, up 0.9%. So having a really good day. I'm going to go over the current positions. We're going to take a look at those. Frank is here. Hi, Greg and group. Interview was terrific. Oh, thank you, Frank. Appreciate that. I'm glad you found it helpful. So here's the plan for today. We have a lot to do. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them going forward. After that, I did have a couple day trades, 3 day trades, I think, that I'm going to share with you, all to the downside today, all to the short side. After that, some of you have been kind enough to share your positions with me. We're going to go over those, take a look, see how those are doing. Then we're going to switch gears, talk a little bit about trader psychology. In my opinion, the most important, by far, the most important skill to develop in trading is being able to follow your plan. And that is a skill. If those of you have been out there trading for a while, you understand what I mean. So I do want to spend a few minutes talk about trader psychology and hopefully work on that side of the equation. After that, I've gone down through my watch list. Kamal has been kind enough to send me the results from his scanner today. I do have 3 requirements whenever I look to enter a trade. First requirement, look for a confluence or combination of signals. I look at confluences and combination of signals as different groups of buyers, multiple groups of buyers coming into the market. And in my opinion, you will drastically increase the odds of having a profitable trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is look for a confluence or combination of indicators, or in other words, different groups of buyers coming in, a confluence of buyers. After that, second requirement, need to make sure I have a good risk to reward ratio. You can have the best setup in the world, you really can, but you have to look at it, put it in context, see if there's a good risk to reward ratio. 2 to 1 is the minimum. If I'm going to risk $100, I want to be able to make $200 or more, of course, to the upside. And the number 3, please take a few minutes, ponder how many positions you have, are they correlated, how much account heat do you have out. When the market goes up like this, we can kind of get in the mode of just taking more and more and more positions. But always keep in mind, things go down faster than they come up, and just make sure you're not too heavily correlated in any one industry. And ideally get outside of equities like gold and bonds, silver, maybe the dollar, something like that. All right, so we're going to go down through those. We're going to go through them, and I'll check off a couple of them that look like good end of day candidates. And then at the end of the day, I'm going to go through with a really fine-tooth comb, look for the confluences, look for the risk to reward, keeping in mind how many positions I have, and how many correlated positions I have. I have to factor that into the equation. And if I find something at the end of the day that makes sense, I'll go ahead and place the trade. After the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. If you have any stock symbols that you would like me to look at, please let me know as well. If there's any any symbols that you would like me to look at before the market closes, I am very, very happy to do that as well. Just put a star by them so I know it's time sensitive. And then after the market closes, if you could be so kind, if you have any new additions for me, any new entries or any new exits for me today, if you could wait till the end of the day, I would really appreciate it. Before you told me what those entries and exits are. That way all the pressure's off, taking care of the trading, market's closed, and I'll make sure I can get them done right. Okay, so listen, hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Okay, hey, Kamal is here. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Thank you for sending me the scan and nice chatting with you. Man, I tell you what, I don't know what I'd do without Kamal. I really don't. We chat during the day. He sends me the scanner. Thank you, Kamal, as always, for everything that you do for the channel. Hey, Frank has a poem. Traders make their share of mistakes. Nobody's perfect, for goodness sake. But if there's one rule we must never forsake, it's to learn something from every trade we make. Spot on as always. Traders make their share of mistakes. Nobody's perfect, for goodness sakes. But if there's one rule we must never forsake, it's to learn something from every trade we make. It's so true. You know, there's an old saying, learn something from every trade that you lose on. I mean, you paid for it, and you might as well learn something from it. But I like what Frank says, every trade you make, even positive ones, right? I think we could always trade a little bit better. So good, Frank. Thank you, my friend. So great. And thanks to Frank also, in addition to Kamal, for providing these great poems and contributing to the channel. I really, really appreciate that. You know what? While I'm thinking about it, and it's here, I am going to put the link. I just put a link in the live stream. That's the link to the interview that I did with Christopher Uhl over at 10 Minute Stock Trader. We talked about position sizing. And, I talk about that. I think most people really concentrate on entries and exits, but they don't spend enough time concentrating on what their position size is based upon the volatility of the market at the current time, or at the time they took the trade. So if you're interested, there's the link. Hey, Glenn, good to see you, bud. Hope you're having a good day. Glenn says, hey, Greg, feels like the market is in blow-off mode. It feels a little manic, doesn't it? It does feel a little manic. You get that feel, but whether or not it's going to continue or not, I have no idea. Hey, I was watching a show last night called Tread on Netflix about that guy that built that bulldozer, and then he went around in that town in Colorado and just demolished houses and all that kind of stuff. And oh, okay. And in there, they were talking about Ritchie Brothers Auctioneers, which is what Glenn has, and he's had a great trade on it. So anyway, if you haven't caught that Tread, boy, that was intense. But I saw a big Ritchie Brothers sign. I was like, how do I know that? I'm like, oh, I know that from Glenn. Quad says, fantastic poem, Frank. I 100% agree. 100% agree. Okay, well, let's get to it. All right, so David and Kamal and myself, we did take Adobe back on the 30th of July. We had a nice higher low V1 and we had a 520 crossover. So there's your confluence of signals. Bought it at 438.89, moved up Friday, moved up today, and I did hit one profit target there today at 450.42, almost up to the one. I go one ATR from my entry, and once it gets at or above one ATR, then I go into trailing stop mode. So it's not quite there, but it is at 0.87% today. Billy, Quad Racer, Kamal, David, and myself. Wow, this was one heck of a trade. Took this on Friday at 43.51. We had a V2. We moved over all the moving averages. It was a higher low V2. We had a fractal. Here's the high. We took that fractal out. Bought at 43.51, and this is up 6.15% today. Fantastic. I did hit one profit target here, one profit target here, and I did hit one right here near the top. So this one's looking pretty good. If it were to close like in the bottom half of its range, I would consider taking it off. I don't like this big wick up here, but who knows? We'll see what happens at the end of the day. But this has been a really good trade. And thanks to Kamal with the scanner for that. SPY, real quick. I do buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. I sell it first thing the next morning. Why would I do such a thing? This is based upon a long-term back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest. Since 1993, they tested two approaches every day. First approach, buy the SPY at the open, hold it through the day, sell at the close. If you use this approach every day since 1993, you've actually returned a negative 13.9% return. If you do the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk. In my opinion, that's where the edge is. Sell first thing the next morning, positive 634.2% return compared to a negative 13.9% return. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. We know this for any kind of trading, but over time you can see the blue line, all it has done is gone up. There's been dips, there's been significant drawdowns that are not fun. I've dealt with them this year, but net, since I've been using this, it has been positive. You know, what's interesting about this to me is we know the market's been up since 1993, obviously. But interesting that the move during the day is down. So you would have actually been down. So all the gains in the market since 1993 have come in after hours trading. Isn't that something? It kind of blows me away every single time I talk about that. So this did work out well. I bought it at 326.52 on Friday, sold it at 328.31, so almost $2 overnight. So really glad for that, and getting close, I guess, knock on wood, but I'm getting close to actually being close to even on the year using this approach. I was down horribly in March using this approach. 2019 was fantastic. 2020 started out horribly, but it's been a monster comeback. But I view this as excuse me, as a long-term trade where I basically am just a buy and holder of the SPY, but I'm a buy and holder of the SPY just in the nighttime. WBA, Kamal, Quad, Dan, and I, we did take WBA at 40.69, false breakouts to the downside. V2 initially went our way and then kind of down. And, you know, one thing I missed back here was that we went over 50, under 50. And I think Kamal had mentioned it to me, and I didn't quite notice it. It's up 0.34% today. I have a lot of positions, I feel. And, you know, Kamal said, I think I may sell this at the end of the day. And I think I may as well. Just from a time stop perspective, the market's gone up quite a bit and it's just gone sideways. It's positive. The trade is positive. But sometimes, you know, we use different type of stops, right? If it goes against us, or sometimes if it just goes sideways and doesn't do anything. These V2s should take off pretty quickly. I did the same thing with oil, where I got out of oil on Friday because it just was kind of moving sideways and not doing anything. So this is up, I'm glad, but I'm considering taking it off because of the time. FAS, Steve, Frank, Miko, Kamal, and myself did buy, let's see, I think Kamal bought this here at 31.65. The rest of us bought up here at 33.99 with the 520 crossover. This is a good back-tested approach for FAS. Bought it at 33.99. It's kind of been all over the place. Did go my way a little bit. Every time it goes my way, I scale out a little bit. Scaled out a little bit on that big bar right there. And is up today 0.86%. And the 5 is still above the 20. The price is still above the 5 and the 20. So I guess there's really not much to do with that than just hold it. JCOM, Kamal, and myself do have don't want to do that. All right. Sorry. All right. Don't get motion sick while I'm doing this. All right. So Karen, Gary, David, Brian M, and Kamal and myself did buy JCOM at 55.40. We had a nice double bottom with the bullish divergence. We had it under 30, over 30. Bullish engulfing V1. Next day, kind of scary, but came back up 3% today, right on the nose. So really good. Up about 5.4% today. So that's pretty good, right? It is above it has moved more than 1 ATR for my entry, so I will be in trailing stop mode. If it continues up higher, I'm going to see how it reacts around the 50 RSI. But so far, really great. Good example of a double bottom with the bullish divergence and actually a missing right shoulder as well. So really good. Really, really fantastic. Apple. All right. Well, you know, I can't go a day without trading Apple. That would be impossible. Okay. This was a short position on Apple. We closed down below the -1 ATR channel. This is 5-minute bar. We rejected the 50-day moving average. We also rejected the 50 RSI. It gave me a good risk to reward ratio. If it closed right back above, I would just go ahead and get out. But it did go my way. I shorted here at 437.01. It went my way, down, 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 down. I decided to get out here, which was just the perfect time. See how we bounced off the 50 EMA, and it was kind of a big expansion bar down and just bounced right at the 50 EMA. So I shorted at 473.01 and I covered at 434.95. So that was a nice trade. Okay, and then I did have a couple shorts here on the Qs. Here we go, 5-minute bar. This is the QQQ. We had a false breakout to the upside plus a V2 to the downside. You know, my favorite trade is when faults break out to the downside, V1, V2 to the upside. But this is the opposite of that. And the reason that I got interested in this is see how we go on higher, 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 but MACD is still negative, 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 negative. So we were going up, 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 MACD, and the slope was going down, down, down. So it felt bearish to me. So I did go ahead and short here at 269.62. I covered here at 269.19. The reason why it bounced right off the 50-day EM, 50-day RSI and closed back up. So again, I was lucky as with on Apple, just perfect. Sorry, yeah, 269.52 and got out at 269.19. I had one more here. Here we make another high, still no green to be had. False breakout to the downside from here. I shorted here when we triggered the V2. I didn't get the best price. I shorted at 269.62 and I got out at, oh, I got out on the same bar because we went down, touched the 50 and right back up. So this was all in 5 minutes. So got in at 269.62 and got out at 269.41. Not a ton, but anyway, still good. So those are the trades. Yeah, everything was positive today, which I am very thankful for. It's been a really, really great day. Okay, let's take a look. Gary M and Kamal, we bought, I think Gary bought XLRE back here at, somebody bought back here. I apologize, everybody. But then I think Kamal did or Gary did. But anyway, I know the majority of us bought it here because that's where I bought it also. Higher low V1, bullish engulfing, nice trade. MACD went positive, 35.18, moved up, fantastic, just up, 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 then down a little bit. I got out here yet Friday by mistake. This was way below the 250-day moving average when I decided to get out. And at the end of the day, I realized, and it had closed back above the 200. Had I known that, I would have gotten out, but lucky mistake for me because it is down 1.35% today. Looks like it might be closing below the previous day's low. Looks like it might be closing below the 200. But anyway, still nice trade for Gary and Kamal. Cisco, Evan did buy Cisco at 46.97 with this false breakout to the downside and a V2 46.97, and right now 46.97 was up higher earlier, so completely break even. CarMax, I know we have Steve and who else? Steve and Bob. Steve and Bob did buy CarMax with the 520 crossover, 94.90. Up nicely. It's 97.34. This was a little bit of a scary bar here where it got close to the 70 RSI, didn't quite get there, and had a big rejection, and kind of moved up and down from there, but I guess sideways from there. But 94.90 was the entry price. Now it's 97.30. So fantastic. IWM. Let's see. Oh, it's this one. Steve and I think Frank. No, I think Frank got out. This is the 1030 SMA crossover. Steve bought it here at, hey Steve, good to see you, bud. I was just going over your IWM trade. Thank you so much for coming today, Steve. Always great to see you. Hope you're having a good day. Hope everything's well with the family and the pets. So Steve did buy IWM at 146.16 with the 1030 crossover. Good back tested approach. Moved sideways a bunch, but today up nicely, up 1.8%. So far on the trade, about 2.47%. So very nice, Steve. Brian did buy Berkshire Hathaway at 190.49 And boy, nice move up. It's at 199.35. So almost 9 points made on this. This 200-day moving average up here, that may possibly act as some resistance. Let's see if this took out the 70 RSI today. Pretty close. Looks like it did reject the 70 RSI, and it's right there at that third ATR channel, which is a little precarious, but very nice trade, Brian. RBA Glenn, this is Ritchie Brothers. This is what I was talking about. Bought this back on 7/21 at 44.60. It's at 46.88. Fantastic. Work. Kamal did buy work on Friday at 29.45, and nice big up day today. Did reject the 20-day moving average. I don't think it rejected the 50 RSI. Let's see. No, 48.72. So very nice trade, up 332%. Gold. Gary's still in gold, like a champion of champions with the 520 EMA crossover. Good back-tested approach for gold. Got in at 162.80. It's at 185.73. Tried to go down. I saw that it was red earlier in the day. So very nice, Gary. FEYE. Brian did buy FEYE here at 15.83. Is down at 15.03 today. Procter & Gamble. Brian also bought Procter & Gamble at 128.30 and has moved up nice. It's at 131.55. AMD, we have Brian had a wonderful purchase on AMD here at $60 even. It's at 77.26. Can anybody do the math? I can't. Up 28.26%. Good thing I have my little tool that can tell me. You'd be waiting around a long time if I had to do that in my head. Frank did buy ServiceNow. He bought it a couple days ago, 426.32, and it's at 438.13. Down a little bit today, but still up on the trade. Brian did buy XPO Logistics before earnings. This is sometimes what can happen on earnings if the earnings are not that good. I still have you in this, Brian. I'm not sure if you are or not, but 86.34 is up a little bit today. Thankfully, is back over the 200-day moving average. So that's that. Facebook, Brian did buy Facebook back here at 242.98, hung with it, went down. Of course, we had earnings, gapped up nicely, up about 10 points on the trade. And then Amazon, GM, who visits with this sometimes, she did buy Amazon calls 3,400. It's at 31.12, so it is down today. And Brian also bought Amazon at 30.57. So some really good, really nice trades there, everybody. Steve says, I'm still in my IWN, KMX, and FAST. Yep, we've got all of those. Yep, Steve and Bob and FAST. Okay, got them all. Steve says, IBB 530-day EMA cross near. Yes, you know, IBB is one of the ones I was looking at to buy today, but there's something I don't like about it, and so I knew that the 530 crossover was going to be happening shortly, possibly, and so I am going to wait for that. Glenn says, and LCII with breakout about 126. Okay, remind me after the market closes, okay, Glenn? Beyond 520 EMA crossover close. Yes, I was looking at Beyond Meat today. They had earnings. We do have a fractal here, which is nice. But yeah, the 520 crossover Beyond Meat's good back-tested approach. All right. All right, we have a lot to get through today. Listen, before we do, I just want to switch gears, talk a little bit about trader psychology or trader philosophy, or, you know, good trading wisdom. I saw that Steve had posted this, and I had to laugh because it is so true. Steve posted this in the New Traders, Rich Traders channel over on Facebook. So if you're not part of that, come on over and subscribe because it's a really good channel. But I had to laugh because I know a friend of mine who I taught trading a few years ago. Really smart guy. He's trading the way he's supposed to. He started out very small. He didn't have to start out small, but he started out very, very small. And look here, paper traders, big, strong, bold, alligator or crocodile. I'm not sure which one of this is. When they trade with real money, they become little pussycats, right? You know, he trades with such a very small amount, and he calls me with these huge gains percentage-wise. And he said, now all I have to do is, you know, increase the size. I'm like, that's right. I said, but it's going to be a different world. You know, if you're trading with a super small amount, you have no fear, right? There's not emotions there. But when you start trading with real money, it changes. So I wish him the best. I hope that he's going to be able to have the same results. But honestly, I'm like, it's going to be different, right? And one other thing with paper trading, I don't know if anybody's been out there. Paper trading, there's absolutely nothing wrong with paper trading. But one piece of advice I have is, you know, if you're paper trading and it says you have, you know, you can put whatever you want in there, $300,000, $400,000, whatever, you can put that in there. But when you switch to real trading, and you're not really trading with $300,000 or $400,000, maybe you're trading with 5 or 10, it's going to seem like you're going 1 mile an hour on a super highway. So if you are going to paper trade and you have a simulator, put the actual dollar amount that you are going to use in there so it's apples to apples. But yes, paper trade, very easy to hold on to things, very easy to let them run. When you trade with real money, this is just normal. You become a little bit more tentative. So anyway, I thought that was pretty funny, but you know, keep in mind that the more money you trade, the more emotions you have, the tougher it gets. And I think the best way to do is just incrementally adjusting, you know, start low, go a little higher, work at that level for a while till you get acclimated to it, then go a little bit higher. So hope that helps. Oh, Beyond Meat has earnings tomorrow, Kamal? I guess my chart's wrong. It says it's today. Interesting. Okay. All right, Glenn, let me take a look at LCII. Why isn't it letting me do that? LCII. Come on now. There it is. All right. $126. $126. I don't know if that's your entry price or if that was the plan. Steve Burns says the psychology of trading is completely different with real money versus paper trading. The larger the capital, the louder the emotions. Yeah, you know, when I studied with Dr. Alexander Elder, we were talking about this. He's talking about acclimating to larger position size. And he took out a 2x4 and he put it across the floor. And he said, okay, I want you to just walk across that 2x4 without falling off. Like, okay. Went right across it. And he goes, now, that's a small account. Now take that same 2x4 and place it between two buildings and walk across it and see if it's as easy. I'm like, yeah, no thanks, but I get what you're saying. You know, there's more at risk. Easy things can become very difficult when there's a lot more on the line. Anytime he would go to hedge funds and work with traders, he would always bring that board and give that analogy. So, get acclimated to a small amount till you're doing fine, till you're okay with the position size. Then step it up a little bit, stay at that level, just like climbing Mount Everest. You don't just go climbing right up. You have to go to those different base camps, get acclimated to the altitude. It's the exact same thing with trading. All right, let me see how current positions are doing here before we switch over. Adobe is doing fine, up 0.93%, did hit the profit target. Billy, great trade on this one for us, up 6%, did hit the 3 profit targets here. Like I said, if this closes in the bottom half, I may consider taking this off, but I'll just have to watch this at the end. SPY, of course, we had the nice overnight SPY trade. Going to be buying that again at the close. WBA, I think I am going to go ahead and get rid of this. It is positive. I mean, everything's fine. MACD's positive, but it is under 50 RSI and it hasn't done anything. So I think I'm going to invoke the time stop rule and sell Walgreens unless it closes above 50 at the very least. FAST, doing fine, up 0.4%. JCOM, just been a monster for Kamal and I, up 3.1% today. So fantastic. Okay, let me take a breather here and take a couple things in. Okay. Kamal says, when is Blue's earning date? Let's look. Sometimes my chart, the earnings are off, man. I got to tell you. Where is Blue? I thought I had Blue on here earlier. Well, let's take a look. BLUE. I have Blue's earnings on the 6th of August, Kamal. So in 3 days. If that's correct or not. I've learned to always double check. They do their best to have the right earnings date, but sometimes they it happens to the best of us. I've gotten earnings dates mixed up. Whoa, it was in the afternoon or in the morning. Oh, I thought it was in the afternoon, right? Always make sure. All right, here's the list. J&J. I kind of like it. I kind of like the pullback into the value. We kind of stopped going down. We had sideways. We had one down, but it was the washout bar and right back up. We went under 50, over 50, and a nice V2. We're over the 10, 5, 20, and the 50 RSI. Weekly, it's okay. It's not anything great, but it's kind of benign. Kind of neutral. We did bounce off the 5 EMA on the weekly, which is decent. So I do kind of like Johnson & Johnson. Gives me a good risk to reward if I get back up here. My stop on this would be halfway the washout bar, which would be about right here. So this is one that I definitely am going to take a closer look at the end of the day. SFIX. Well, Kamal and I were watching this. We were considering buying this intraday, but we wanted to get a little better price on it. Kamal, looks like right here in the value zone would have been the price, right? But from an end of day standpoint, I do like it. We bounced off the 250. We bounced off the negative third ATR channel. We rejected the 200-day. We formed a V1. My stop would be a close under the 200-day moving average. On the weekly, we're holding that 50-week EMA, which is pretty good. So I do like SFIX, which is Stitch Fix. Love. It's a nice V2. False breakout to the downside from this range. Let's see how high this was earlier on the RSI. A little bit lower than that, 47.02. So it did get close to that 50 RSI and kind of retreated from there. We have a lot of resistance here, 50 RSI up here, 100, 200, MACD's negative. I'm scared of Southwest, honestly. And it's not just being scared, it's just, you know, we've sold off a lot from the high here. I don't even know if we're going to hold the -1 ATR channel. I'm going to let this one go. I like Johnson & Johnson better. LVS. False breakout to the downside and a V1, which is good. We have rejected the -1 ATR channel though, so I don't like that as much. It'd be better if it could close above. DG, Dollar General. Well, this one's pretty good as well. Pull back into the value zone, sideways motion, rejection of the 50-day moving average. Nice V2. Here's bar 1, 2, 3. Getting a little close to the 1 ATR. I've had a tough time with Dollar General, I have to say, but this is a good setup. On the weekly, it's a little high. Looks like it's forming a V2 on the weekly, but yeah, this one definitely has to be considered. UAL, I think it's too close to the 50 RSI. Boeing, it's a nice V1, but there's no double bottom or false breakout to the downside or anything like that, so I'm going to let that one go. IBB, I mean, this is a nice false breakout with the V2, but see the gap here today? That gap is larger than 1 ATR. Not 1 ATR, a quarter ATR, and as I discussed earlier, a good back-tested approach with IBB is the 530 EMA crossover. If it goes up for a couple more days, I think that's where I'm going to go ahead and go for IBB. BIIB, V2, I don't like this 50-day hanging right over. We're right at the 50 RSI. I think I'm going to let that one go as well. L, well, that was quite a nice recovery, but not a V2 or anything yet. GMAB, well, that's a V2 with a monster gap, too high for me to buy up here. Blue, what concerns me about this one is we have this big bar, large bar here, down. I'm not surprised that we're rallying, but I think we're going to rally right into the halfway of this bar, which to me doesn't give a good risk to reward. BMY was a V2. Well, it still is a V2, but it has a huge gap here holding the 200-day moving average. I like Johnson & Johnson much better than that. Edit. Earnings tomorrow. Nice V2, no doubt about that. Did it trigger this fractal over here? Yes, it did trigger the fractal. Does anyone know if EDIT, when the earnings are for EDIT? I certainly wouldn't buy it right now if it was first thing tomorrow. I'll put this over here. Manta. It's really good, but it's also already rejected the 50 RSI. AdVibe. Looks like it's rejected the 50 as well. Intel, boy. Well, Intel has a V2. It did gap make the V2, but it came down earlier and closed above. Still 23.92. I like that it's down here at the -6th ATR channel. It's tough to get things to go lower than this, especially on big name companies like that. But I have to stick with the rule and wait for an over 30. and SLQT. V2 under 30 over 30. Edits on 8.6. Thank you, Bob and Kamal. Let's see. Where is the 30 RSI going to be tomorrow? About right here. So that will help with the... oh no, what happened? Let me see real quick. Well, I think I'm going to concentrate on the ones that I like better. Johnson & Johnson, I do like that. I mean, it's a perfect example of a pullback into value, sideways motion. Nice washout, rejection of the 50. Gives me a good risk to reward ratio. I definitely like J&J. And I like Stitch Fix. DG. We're getting close to see the big down bar we have over here. Halfway there. I feel like we're going to run the resistance. It's a little high. Okay, I'm going to do away with DG. Look at edit. Yeah, I'm going to go with Johnson & Johnson, and I'm going to go with Stitch Fix. I am going to, oh, now Walgreens. So Walgreens woke up. Adobe's doing fine. Billy is doing fine. Like I said, if this sold off near the close, I would just go ahead and take this, but it is holding. I'm trying to make room, actually. Okay. We have about 10 minutes. I am going to go ahead and get rid of WBA. Just take the profit on it and free up a position. Okay, so I am out of WBA. You know, if it closed over 50, I'd feel better about keeping it, but I want to free up some positions. That's what I'm doing. And I may get rid of Billy here if it closes under the 1 ATR channel. I really might. It's well off of its highs. All right, have about 10 minutes. Let's see, do I still like Johnson & Johnson? Yeah, I do. And Stitch Fix. So those are going to be my two new entries, J&J and SFIX. Kamal says ADP. Yeah, I mean, look, it's under 30, over 30, had a V2 yesterday. I don't like the negative third ATR channel right above us, Kamal. I did look at this earlier, and that was my first thought also. I don't like this negative third right above. If we had a false breakout to the downside and double bottom with the bullish divergence, I might consider it. But as it is here right now, me personally, I don't feel comfortable with it. JWN. Yeah, well, that's, that's a false breakout to the downside from over here. It is a V1. I don't think this qualifies though. I don't think it washed it out enough to be considered a quarter ATR. Let's look at the weekly. Well, we do have a double bottom with a bullish divergence. Here's the lows, right? With the red, we rallied to green. We've come back, made a lower low from here. And we do have green MACD bar, so that is a double bottom with the bullish divergence. I just don't like the wick on there. We got right to the 10-day moving average, and we didn't quite have a legitimate washout on this V2. Brian M says NVTA. Yeah, it's good. It's strong. It's a V2, but it has a gap that made the V2. Oh no, sorry. This isn't a V2. It's not a V2 at all. It's just a big move up strong, but it does have, looks like it may have earnings tomorrow. And also, I just don't like the risk to reward. For me, the risk to reward doesn't make sense the way that I trade. Hey, Gary M. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Congratulations on your gold trade. Keeps on moving on up. Okay, so we have 8 minutes to go. Take another quick look. Adobe seems to be fine. I'm going to leave that one alone. Billy. I think what I'm going to do is if this closes below the 1 ATR channel, I'm going to go ahead and just get out. I don't like that we were much higher. We've sold off. And the other consideration is I like the two new trades that I'm looking at, the Johnson & Johnson and the Stitch Fix. And like I always say at the beginning of the show, I don't want to have too many positions. So I'm going to give one up to get another one. WBA, I sold that. FAS is fine. JCOM is really fine. What's Apple doing? Ooh. Bit of a bearish bar. Look at that. Got right to the 6 ATR channel, and that was it for now. And the Qs, I had those trade on the Qs as well. All right. So I'm going to go here and buy Johnson & Johnson. Well, I have 5 minutes. I'd rather get a little closer to the close. And then Stitch Fit, I do like. It rejected the 250, rejected the negative third ATR channel, V1, rejected the 200-day moving average. The weekly, we're holding that 50-week moving average. Take a look at Johnson & Johnson with the, all right, 5 minutes to go. All right. Stitch Fix, J&J, check and check. So those are taken care of. And Billy, I am going to get rid of Billy if we close below the 1 ATR channel. Four minutes to go. We'll see what Billy does here. It's up to you, Billy. I just think there's a better risk to reward on Johnson & Johnson than the others than Billy. Who knows? But, you know, this is up 5.5% and it's well off of its high, which is a little concerning to me. All right, about a minute and a half. All right, I'm going to sell Billy here. And I'm selling Billy over here. All right, that takes care of business other than buying the SPY, which will go automatically. Three, two, one. That's it. All right. Wow. What a day. It was a good day. It was a really good day. So listen, if you have any new positions, any new additions or new subtractions for today, please let me know. Just go ahead, put them in the chat, and I will put them up on the board, make sure we get them all squared away correctly. Before I do, just real quick, I just want to put in my quick little daily plug and remind everybody that I do offer private one-on-one lessons for coaching and mentoring and stock trading. I've been trading for 24 years. I've studied one-on-one with some great teachers, authors, traders like Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Lavorne, Larry Williams, and the course that I teach, it's a total of 15 hours, 5 sessions, 3 hours each, and I teach you everything that I have learned from all these great four traders, and also things I've developed over the last 24 years. It's a pretty intensive course. Like I say, it's 5 sessions, 3 hours each. The format of each lesson is I teach you what I'm teaching you during the first part. Second part, we do lots of chart study. We go through, we look for what I just taught you. I put you on the spot, break this chart down for me, what's good about it, what's bad about it, risk to reward. All the things that I do here when I break down is what I have you do. Right? So don't expect that you're just going to come and listen, right? It's very interactive, but I've had really good success with my clients. I really do love to teach. I put a lot into it. It is $1,000, but I think it is worth every single penny. And I think by the time you're done, you will really have a pretty good idea of how to trade the market. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. You can send me an email. My email's in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter at Gossett Trading on Twitter. And if you do contact me, I'll write you back, say, hey, how's it going? Let's set up a Skype call. I like to do a Skype call with prospective students. It's totally free. There's no pressure, sales pressure. That's not what this call is about. I just want to learn more about you and your trading and your goals and your challenges. And it's a good time for you to ask me about my course, any questions you have. And like I said, I'm not going to ask, hey, do you want to sign up, right? I'm just going to say it's nice talking to you. Think about it. If you decide you want to do it, just email me back and we'll get it scheduled. All right. And then if you like today's podcast, I would really, really appreciate it if you could just take a half a second and just hit that thumbs up button before you leave. It helps build the channel, keep the channel around, all that kind of stuff. And lets YouTube know that there's some good content on this channel. Okay, let me take a look real quick and see where I got filled. All right. So why is that blank? Well, that's interesting. I guess I can see over here, but that's a little concerning. All right, so SPY, I got filled at 328.79, and J&J, I got filled at 147.39. Okay. So J&J, 147.39. All right, and then SPY, 328.79. Okay. Looking at this S&P chart, I do just want to point out, my students will understand, but you see how we have a double top with the bearish divergence? See how we make this high over here with MACD bars, green, high MACD bars? See how we pulled back into the value zone? We have red. Now we're higher than we were over here. No red to be found. I mean, no green to be found, not even a little. That's, in my opinion, how Dr. Alexander Elder taught me, that's starting to be bearish. Now, just because you have a double top with the bearish divergence doesn't mean you just, boom, go ahead and short it. But it's showing that this move up here did not have the oomph that this one did. And kind of the implication of that is that second move up, if it's on lower momentum, more likely it's going to pull back. So anyway, okay, so WBA, I did get out of WBA. It did close over 50, but like I said, it hasn't done much over the last few days. It was positive on the trade, and I'm happy for that, but it hasn't done much. And these V1s, V2s, they should take off and do something. Who knows? It might go skyrocketing up tomorrow, but again, you know, I wanted to take Johnson & Johnson. I wanted to take Stitch Fix. That's a hard word to say. And I needed to free up some positions. I just, you know, just because I see a new entry every day, I'm not going to just take a new one and a new one and a new one and have like, you know, 13 positions, right? So I did get rid of WBA, and I also got rid of Billy. A very great trade, 5.62% today, but it did close below the -1 ATR channel, and it was a big percentage move. Did hit one up here at the top. And like I said, I just feel like the risk to reward is better on Stitch Fix and Johnson & Johnson than what this did today. So I am out of that. That's just my personal opinion. We'll see. It could go rocketing up tomorrow, but that's how it goes. So I've got Adobe, which is fine. Good. Fast, which is fine. Good. SPY, bought 322.79. JCOM, great day today. 2 profit targets. And then Kamal is in this also. It's a 45.21. So tomorrow, you know, I'll definitely be watching, and if it goes up, I have to see what's happening with the 50 RSI. But this has been a really nice move. J&J, perfect pullback to value, sideways motion in a V1, and then what's our last one? S Fix. Oh. Aha. 2256 is where I got filled there. Right where it's at. Okay. Frank says, I did pick up J&J at 147.33. All right. We're pretty close on that, so I'm going to put Frank there. Brian says, bought TTD TTD. All right. 648.69. Oh, 456, sorry. Nice trade, Brian. I don't know if I have any more room on here. SHW 648. $648.69. Okay. LEN. 72.86. You got a lot of positions, Bry. A lot of positions, but they're doing well. Okay, added to Microsoft. Did I have you on Microsoft? I don't think I had you on Microsoft. I think I'm running out of room. Oh no, I can do it. Okay. $214.84. Microsoft up nicely today. Okay, who's next? Kamal, out of XLRE. Out of JCOM. Oh, you left me with JCOM by myself? By accident. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's Gary. Sorry. WBA. WBA is Kamal. And added S-Fix. Okay. Gary. Out of XLRE. Okay, so that's it on XLRE. Good. I can add, take away. Nice profitable trade there for all of us on that one. JCOM by accident. How'd that happen? Oh, Gary M. Sorry, buddy. I don't know why I didn't have you on here, but I'm glad. I'm glad that you're in it. I only had Kamal. Okay. And Stitch Fix. I don't know if I'll ever be able to pronounce that correctly. Gary M. How did gold end up? It was up. Good. Stitch Fix. I mean, sorry. And Johnson and Johnson. Okay. So Stitch Fix, Gary's in, J&J, Gary's in. Minus WBA. Okay, so we're going to take Gary off of WBA. Yeah, this was a tough one for me. I mean, it was up today. You know, it did close above 50. It was a V1 again, but again, I could be totally wrong on this, but more so I was doing this to make room for other positions. David. Okay. David bought J&J. Stitch Fix. Out of Billy with me. Okay, so we'll take David off. Dan says, out of WPA this morning, day traded around for VWAP every 3 days since buying. Grateful for 3 wins. Oh, very nice, Dan. WPA. Do I have WPA on here? No, I don't think I have that one. Oh, don't do that, Greg. I don't have a WPA. Dan, sorry. But he day traded every day since buying it. Grateful for 3 wins. Fantastic. Gary says, Frank's poem definitely rings true today with my JCOM trade. Set your profit targets for WBA. Oh. Dan's talking about WBA, not WPA. Okay. Gary says, Frank's poem definitely rings true today with my JCOM trade. Set profit targets for WBA and instituted them on JCOM. Oh, leaving me with 0 shares. Luckily wasn't oversold. Yep. Take the extra, learn from it, and make sure you take the extra few seconds to make sure you're entering what you want to. Bob says, I'm in J&J. Okay. There's Bob. Also JWN. $14.21. All right, good luck on that trade, Bob. Kamal says BILI has a 520 crossover today. Oh, it did, huh? Well, thanks for telling me now. Just kidding, Kamal. Just kidding. Glenn says in cents. Okay. I don't know. I think I'm out of room. No. Okay. LCII. I think I have you in LCII already. $127.04. All right. Karen, hey Karen, good to see you. No changes here, but it was easy to day trade space today. Earnings were released just moments ago. So you had a good day on Space, Virgin Galactic, up 6.99% today. Good to see you, Karen. Hope you're doing well. WBA, sorry, David. Thanks, Greg and Group. Good day today. Yes, it was. Glenn says, we'll add to KLAC on any pullbacks. Okay. Kamal says, sorry, I saw the Billy crossover after close. Did not realize you were exiting. Yep. Okay. I think that is it. I think that is it. what's happening after hours in the after hours world. Not much. Not much. Well, congratulations. Lot of great trades today. Where did we end up? 236 on the Dow, up 0.89%. Nasdaq up 157, up 1.47%, and the S&P 23.49, up 0.72%. Okay. Well, I feel pretty good about my holdings. So we have Adobe, a little tech, FAS, which is financials, SPY, of course, is the index. JCOM is a little techie. Johnson & Johnson is a little healthcare. And SFix, Stitch Fix is, I guess, online e-commerce retailer. But I do like Stitch Fix today with that rejection of the 250, the negative third, false breakout to the downside, and V1. Doesn't mean it's going to go up tomorrow. We just don't know for sure. But if it closes under the 200, I am out of there. Dan says, thank you, Greg and everyone. Glenn says, CLL, Norwegian Cruise Line, heading to new lows. Okay, noted. We will see what happens with those. Carnival. Ooh, yep. Frank says, please give us an update on how your shoulder's doing. It's doing better, Frank. Thank you for asking, sir. I've been very diligent doing my physical therapy stuff at home, although I broke one of my bands yesterday. I had it in the door and and it broke, hit me in the back of the head. So I had to order some on Amazon. But, my shoulder still hurts a little bit, but my shoulders are definitely stronger. I've been doing both of them, but especially the one that was hurting, it's much better. It hurts still, but not as much. And so, building up that muscle has helped. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. It's, I'm feeling like there's a possibility I may not have to have shoulder surgery. That would not be fun. I don't think I'd be able to do the podcast for a while if that happened. But yes, thank you for asking. It is much better. But like I said, I've been very diligent about doing those exercises. And there's like 8 or 9 of them I have to do every night. Glenn, okay, short NCLH. Ooh. Well, let us know if you do short, Glenn. All right, so we have bunches of positions up here. I think this is the most positions I've ever seen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That is definitely has to be a record. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. All right, so that will be our new record. We'll see if we ever break that or not. I hope this board keeps getting bigger. That will mean that people are doing well with their trades. All right, well, listen, I am going to go for a hike. I am teaching tonight. Marcus, if you're out there listening, I'm looking forward to our lesson at 7 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock your time. And it's my favorite lesson to teach. V1s, V2s, higher low V1s, V2s, false breakouts, all the kind of stuff. So we will be teaching that you will be learning that tonight. And again, if anybody out there is interested in taking lessons with me, I think you'll like it. I think you'll enjoy it. It's not easy, but it's worth it. I think it will be worth it if you can stand me for 15 hours of asking you questions and making you break down charts. But, think about it. If you're really going to learn how to do something, it's not going to be easy, right? It's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. Glenn says, turnaround Tuesday. Do you mean turn around to the downside? Karen says, your popularity is growing. Thank you all. Bye. Thank you, Karen. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. Okay. Well, that's it for today. Please go out and try to do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile or a wave or a hello or a nice kind gesture to a human and an animal would be ideal. Just one little nice thing for one human and one animal. That's all I ask. So have a good rest of your day. Be good, be safe, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow during the last hour of the market. Okay? Thanks again for coming. Have a great day. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity.